Welcome back to the Dethroning Your Inner Critic YouTube channel, where you can learn how to stop the self-sabotaging voice in your head from getting in your way of living your most empowered and abundant life. So today I want to talk about energy, and specifically, where does your unbalanced energy come from? So energy can be described as a feeling you have. It could be a charged or emotional thought that you have. It could be the way that your body feels. Okay, but you have energy. Everyone has energy. The world has energy. So each person's energy mingles and mixes together and has a resulting impact. So sometimes it's a positive impact, sometimes it's negative, sometimes it's neutral, but we all hold energy in the form of thoughts, beliefs, emotions, and memories. So I hear so many people say, I get into this vicious cycle of starting with a negative thought and I forget about all my blessings. And one negative thought leads to the next and the next. And then I'm back to feeling unhappy. And I know that what you want is to feel joy and happiness and fulfillment and peace. So our culture has actually convinced us that happiness and joy and fulfillment comes when all of your life goes the way that you want it to. So if you have the business that you want and you have the relationship of your dreams and you're at optimal health and everyone you love is happy and thriving, that's when you'll be happy. But this leaves so many people trying to control or predict or fix or change what we think is not yet good enough. And we believe that when we change those things, this is when we'll feel good. So unfortunately, this is not the case. In fact, that's what keeps you stuck in a cycle where you feel like you aren't yet good enough. Your life isn't yet good enough. It's almost impossible to experience joy for a sustained period of time. And this is because you are spinning in thoughts that make you feel like there's something wrong. And you're living most of your life in the fear part of your brain. Now, this is our primitive brain that's really responsible for our survival mechanism, which is, you've probably heard this before, fight, flight, freeze. But when we're using that part of our brain to navigate our life, then most of our thoughts and our emotions and our behaviors are about warding off danger. So what we consider to be danger in this world that we're living in now is feeling inadequate or feeling not confident or not good enough or not important enough or not valued enough. So all of those things keep us stuck in our suffering. And this is why we can feel so unbalanced energetically. So we wake up every day feeling drained and exhausted and overwhelmed and stressed out. And this unbalanced energy begins with our automatic mind. So our automatic mind is hardwired to focus on the parts of life that don't fit our ideal picture. Now, you don't choose these thoughts. These thoughts are conditioned in your mind. These spinning thoughts are either focused on worrying about something in your future, or thinking about past mistakes or failures, and then trying to make sure that you don't repeat the past in your future. Okay, so you might be building a business and spinning in thoughts like, when am I going to reach the level of success that I know I can reach? Or when am I going to be able to afford that new house? Right? Or you might be spinning in thoughts like, when is my relationship going to be the way that I want it to? Or you're spinning in worry about someone else in your life, like a child or a spouse or a parent. So your physical body is reacting to your thoughts. You might feel a pit in your stomach every morning when you wake up, but this is because your body is producing energy in the form of neurochemicals that are coming from your brain. So if you find yourself frequently unhappy, it's actually your mind that's preventing you from experiencing the joy and happiness and peace that you want to be feeling right now. And your body is creating unbalanced energy because your physical brain is triggered into a perpetual state of fight or flight, all from your thoughts. So your nervous system actually is operating like you're in danger. And this could be almost all of the time. Now, here is the irony of it all. These spinning thoughts are your brain's way of trying to prevent or change or control circumstances that could potentially bring you pain and discomfort. But it's actually these spinning thoughts that are robbing you of really experiencing the joy and fulfillment right now. And that's what's keeping you in unbalanced energy. So whatever area of your life you find yourself suffering with, it's your automatic thoughts and beliefs that are automatically created inside your mind that are preventing you from experiencing joy. Now, I know you think it's your current circumstances that rob you of your joy, but it's actually only your thoughts and your beliefs about your circumstances. And you might have circumstances that need to change, but you have the power to think about your current circumstances in a profoundly different way. So as the late Wayne Dyer said, if you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. Now, our habits of thinking were actually created early on in our life. So these habits of thought have actually created very well-worn neural pathways in your brain. So your brain gets stuck in these same neural pathways that you continue to use as you navigate your life. It's like a path in the forest that was created by many years of walking the same path. So when you decide to take a different path, there's not a path yet. So it doesn't really feel like a path, right? You've never walked it before. So it might feel like you're slugging through a forest of thick grass, right? It doesn't feel natural or normal. But that's exactly what creates different energy, to practice intentionally creating new thoughts and new beliefs about your current circumstances. So our thoughts remain real and true and factual to us until we start to challenge them. So if you take a moment and you look a little more deeply at your thoughts, ask yourself the question, when did I first start believing this? Is this actually a belief? Or is it right? Is it something that I started thinking when I was young? Is it actually a fact? So when I believe that my thoughts are a fact, right? I have very conditioned and familiar reactions. Okay. So maybe the most important question to ask yourself is, what if I were to let go of this thought? What if I were to let go of this belief? How would that change my experience of my life? So if we focus our thoughts on actually appreciating who we already are and the life that we've already created, because there are parts of you and parts of your life that you can actually already appreciate right now. And that is how our path in life unfolds in front of us. When we're waking up every day, feeling fulfilled and inspired and excited about what's to come, because we are intentionally directing our mind to very different thoughts and very different beliefs. Okay, so if we're not happy and we keep focusing on what we need to fix or change or what we need to get in order to make us feel happy, the path that we're creating in front of us is one of frustration and striving and feeling unfulfilled and feeling dissatisfied and trying to prove our worthiness out in the world. And that's a very different path. So when we know how to use our minds to consciously create our path, this is what science calls a state of flow, right? Some people call it being in the zone. So what that means is that energetically, you're creating different vibrations inside your body because you're focused on different thoughts like gratitude and appreciation and joy and fulfillment right now. So you're quite literally operating in a different energy. And when you operate in your life in a different energy, because you're intentionally understanding how to think in a way that changes your energy, you're pulling your life towards you like a magnet. Okay? It's actually your energy that clears the path for you to bring your future towards you. Now, this is what it means to manifest something in your life. Doesn't mean that we figured out how to make it happen. It actually means that we no longer need it to happen because we're already energetically in a state of gratitude and connection and joy and fulfillment and peace. So we're no longer even focused on not having that thing that we've been convinced we need in order to feel the way we want to feel. So when you're able to understand that your experience of joy and fulfillment actually begins with you, you can actually practice no longer trying to change anybody else in your life, anything else in your life, not your family member, not your child, not your circumstances. You can transform your experience of joy by becoming aware of what it is that you're thinking and then start to question those thoughts. That's exactly what creates different energy inside your body. And when you experience different energy, that's when you're experiencing different emotions. And those emotions will have you taking very different actions in many different areas of your life. So you might have changes that you want to make. Maybe you intend to make. You have goals. You have dreams that you want to fulfill. But you have to learn and practice and ultimately master learning how to think right now in a way that changes your energy in order for you to bring towards you the true success and fulfillment you really want in your life. That's the first step. So when you're spinning in your old conditioned neural pathways, you're actually operating on a lower frequency of energy. That makes it very difficult to transform your old perspectives, your limiting beliefs, your disturbing past experience, and it makes it almost impossible to feel empowered. So when you're stuck in lower frequency energy, you actually manifest people and circumstances from that lower frequency of energy. So here are my 4 favorite ways to change your unbalanced energy. The first one is to become conscious of your thoughts. Everything you think, everything you say, and everything you feel, that's what becomes your reality. So every single thought that comes into your head has an impact on you. So, for example, I spent many years of my life saying, I don't have what it takes to become an author. And guess what? I wasn't an author. It wasn't until I knew how to and I practiced unhooking myself from this false belief that I wrote my book, Dethroning Your Inner Critic. Now, I know it's easier said than done, especially when you're facing adversity, right? But how about the next time a negative thought shows up in your head? Take the time to see it, to acknowledge it, to actually thank it for showing up. It's just your automatic mind that's trying to protect you from danger. And then let it float by. The second way to change your unbalanced energy is to find something beautiful and really appreciate it. See, beauty is all around us, okay? And so often we walk around, right, with our blinders on. We don't even see it. So stop rushing around and take a moment to maybe stand in the sun, maybe look at a tree, maybe look at a flower, appreciate your surroundings. The third is to be grateful. So making a gratitude list every day shifts your vibrations inside your body, because instead of focusing on what you don't have, you're focusing on what is already abundant in your life. And there really is more to be grateful for than you could possibly imagine if you take the time to find it. So every night before I go to bed, I write down in a gratitude journal 5 things that I'm grateful for that day. And it is a beautiful and life-changing exercise. The fourth way to change your unbalanced energy is to practice acts of kindness. Giving to somebody else without expecting anything in return shifts your thinking from, I don't have enough, or, right, kind of that woe is me mentality, to, I have more than enough to give to others. See, the feeling of vibration, right? The feeling of abundance, that is a very different energy. Okay. And so even just being kind to somebody puts you at a higher vibration, right? So be mindful not to gossip. Be mindful not to automatically get angry and upset at somebody else's behavior. So you have the power to shift your unbalanced energy at any given moment. And the most important thing is to become intimately familiar with your automatic mind, with everything that it says, with everything that it convinces you is the truth. And maybe to start to question why you're so aligned with your automatic mind. So if you have experiences of shifting your energy, I would love to hear from you. You can post something in the comments, and please subscribe for more videos that teach you how to unhook from that automatic mind in your head. Have a great day, everybody.